What's up, guys? Doomwake here. Welcome back to another modern video on the channel. As always, before we continue, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button. Let me know in the comment section below what you thought of the video. Today, we are continuing our... I know it's been a couple of days since I played some Asmo on the channel, so, definitely still kind of brewing and trying to figure out the best shell for this particular collection of cards from MH2, and this is kind of where we are at right now. Now, this is basically the biggest thing that I've been a proponent of, and I've been kind of talking about this on the live Twitch stream, is I am a big fan of playing Esper. So the Esper color combination with Asmo, because you get to play all of the really good blue cards. I think blue has the best payoff for having a bunch of random artifacts in play, because sometimes you have Cookbook plus Daredevil, you have that engine going, which you're generating a free artifact every turn, and sometimes you don't have the Asmo, you need another way to pay you off for having, a pile of extra random artifacts lying around, and I think Urza and Thought Monitor are probably the two best that accomplish that goal. So I think blue is very good, I'm a big fan of blue, and obviously you have to either pair it with Asmo with black or red. We're choosing to go with black here. Normally, you see black sideboard cards like Thoughtseize, Fatal Push, sometimes Tezzeret, things of that nature. Mainly what we're utilizing black here for is pretty much just to hardcast Daredevil. So we've really condensed it down to more of a blue-white deck rather than a blue-black deck, because we're focusing more on the white cards. The reason we're focusing more on the white cards is because I think Prismatic Ending is in a really good spot right now. I'm going to be honest with you, I think Prismatic Ending might be the best removal spell in Modern. Obviously, there are things that it doesn't hit. It doesn't hit, what's the one? Murktide Regent. But the fact that it's just so versatile, and it just kills... It's one of the only cards that's good on turn 1 and good on turn 5 and 6. It's never going to be a dead removal spell, whereas, like, Fatal Push, sometimes they play something that's a little bit bigger. Even Prismatic Ending, you can still kill Omnath, you can kill Teferi, Hero of Dominaria with it. Maybe not in this deck, but it's just... And the fact that it exiles is really important against Lurrus as well. Especially against, like, the Grixis Lurrus deck, they play Kolaghan's Command, so exiling their Lurrus is really important. So that's why I'm really, really big on Prismatic Ending. Also, it's really good against Hammer Time, because you can kill Sigardazane. Hammer Time, the main choke point is mainly them having a way to equip, because they have more hammers in their deck than they do ways to equip. If you think about it, they only have 4 Sigardazade, 4 Paladin, versus 4 Hammer, 4 Saga, 4 Stoneforge, some number of Steel Shaper's Gift. So the choke point is usually on ways to equip, and Prismatic Ending can handle both of those. So I'm really big on Prismatic Ending. So we got blue cards, Prismatic Ending, so we want to be blue-white. Again, you can either pair Asmo with black or red. We're choosing to be slightly more black-focused so we can hardcast Daredevil. And we're also utilizing a new card, a new addition here, Ranger Captain of Eos. So this is 3 mana, 3/3, ETB, search your library for a creature card with mana value 1 or less, shuffle. And then which basically means go search up Asmo. And the second ability does come up from time to time, specifically against mostly the Cascade decks, because they cast their Cascade spell. If you have a Ranger Captain in play, you can respond to them casting the Cascade spell by sacrificing the Ranger Captain, and then when they go to Cascade, they don't get to cast their Living End of their Crashing Footfalls. But mainly it's here for additional copies of Asmo. Also, just a 3 mana 3/3. It's a fine body. It helps kind of put some pressure on Planeswalkers. One of the weakest parts of this deck is it's not very aggressive. It can't put pressure on early. So, 3 mana for a 3/3 that also brings along another 3/3 can really add up the pressure. And we're choosing to play Talisman of Progress. It's a lot of copies, 4 copies. This list was mostly inspired by Spiderspace. Spiderspace on Twitch and Twitter. Definitely go drop him a follow. He's been iterating a lot in this deck. And I kind of talked with him about this, and he is really, really big on Talisman of Progress for 2 reasons. One, accelerating into Urza, very important. Urza is one of the better cards in your deck, and you just want to cast it ahead of schedule, and that's kind of the way to sort of mitigate the fact that this deck is kind of slow and clunky, is just casting Urza before they're ready for it. You know what I mean? It's also an artifact for Thought Monitor. It also helps you fix your mana, because when you're trying to play Asmo on turn 1 or turn 2, and you're trying to cast double white on 3, double blue on 4, your mana can get a little shaky, so Talisman being able to fix your mana can definitely help there. And then the rest of the deck, I mean, we have, again, the Cookbook Daredevil package, Street Wraith to enable Asmo early, and then we have sort of our 3 silver bullets for Urza Saga, and you'll notice a Flourishing Fox. Now, for those of you who don't play Standard, you might not know what this card does. So it's a 1-mana 1/1. Whenever you cycle another card, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Don't think we're ever going to be casting this. The main thing is, it is a 1-mana creature, so you can find it with Ranger Captain, and it has cycling for 1 mana, because in order to turn on Asmo, you need to be able to discard a card. So imagine a scenario where you have an Asmo in hand, you don't have a way to discard, you're short on Cookbook or Street Wraith, and you have a Ranger Captain. Well, Ranger Captain now tutors for a card that can A, replace itself, and B, allow you to cast your Asmo. So we're never going to be casting this. It's strictly in there just to be cycled. But it's a really cool addition. You know, it's a way to turn on stranded Asmos in your hand that you might not be able to cast. So it makes a lot of sense. I'm really, I kind of want to try it out and see how it goes. I mean, I imagine every time you draw it, you're just going to cycle it, but that's fine. And then you'll notice another big difference here. We have 4 copies of Cavern of Souls. That seems like a lot in a deck that doesn't have that many creatures, but notably, every creature in this deck that you actually want to cast that is hard to cast is a human. So remember how I was saying you're trying to cast Asmo on turn 1, you need black or red there, you need double white on 3, double blue on 4. Well, every single one of those cards is a human. Obviously, in addition to this, this is also a human. You know, that doesn't come up as often, but you know that is also a human. But the hardest part of the mana base in that curve of Asmo, Ranger Captain, Urza, all of them are humans. So Cavern really fixes your mana there. You can go, it's the only card that lets you like Cavern, Asmo, Saga on 2, and then White Source, Ranger Captain on 3, or something like that. You know what I mean? So it really just fixes the mana base. So I'm excited to try it out and see how it goes. Everything else pretty straightforward. The rest of the mana base, some fetches, some shocks, some sagas. Nothing fancy there. Only 3 Thought Monitors, which I am kind of a little hesitant on. I don't know what to add for the 4th one. I was talking with Spider Space about that before this video, and we really couldn't come to a conclusion as to what we wanted to cut for the 4th one. Maybe a Talisman. Potentially also you might want the 4th Urza, but if you want the 4th Urza, you don't want to cut a Talisman. So it's really hard to make room in this deck. And then in the sideboard, we got some more bullet targets for Urza Saga. We got Emrakul because, you know, Mill. I don't like playing against Mill. We got some Teferis against the Cascade decks, as well as Flusterstorms, which are also very good against, you know, Cascade, Living End, Crashing Footfalls, decent against Control. We have our 5-card package against Hammer Time because, you know, you got to have at least 5 dedicated cards to them. Excuse me. So we got 2 Hurkyl's Recalls, 2 Disenchants. Hurkyl's Recall specifically very good against Urza Saga. After they make their 2nd construct, you then recall both the construct as well as everything else back to their hand. So it is quite powerful. Disenchant, you know, it's not the flashiest card for what you're paying for it, but it does get the job done, and it's one of the few cards in these colors that actually kill Urza Saga before they get their value, before they get anything out of it. So it's really important. And then 1 copy of Path to Exile. I'm deciding to go with Path to Exile over Fatal Push or Doomblade for 2 reasons. 1, specifically over Fatal Push, because we have less black sources in this deck. The older versions of like that were more Dimir focused, had Dark Slick Shores, more Watery Graves, things like that, and we are more focused on the white aspect. So with less black sources replacing those with caverns, we're less reliant on black. So choosing to go with Path to Exile over Fatal Push, and also Fatal Push doesn't kill Murktide Region, and that's a pretty big reason to play Path. And this is kind of a weird one. Hushbringer. Now, I get it, and I talked to Spider Space about this. I get it. It shuts off a lot of your own stuff. It shuts off Urza, it shuts off Monitor, Ranger Captain, the ETB on Asmo. I understand that, and that's really awkward. I hope I play against Elementals because I just want to see how relevant that is, because Hushbringer basically makes it so their deck doesn't function. So, like, if you are sacrificing a little bit of value on the ETB, that might be a good enough trade-off to basically shut off their entire deck. That's kind of the theory behind it. Now, I'm not going to bring it in any other matchup because I think it's the only matchup that it's even remotely, like, it's the only matchup that you would even consider bringing it in. But I think the matchup is probably not great, and it is a card that just, they cannot, their deck just doesn't do anything when Hushbringer's in play. So we're going to try it because Elementals has been popping up pretty recently. So hopefully we get to play against Elementals and see how that goes. Well, that is going to do it for the deck tech. So I hope you enjoyed that. Again, be sure to like and subscribe. And with that, I'll see you back in just a little bit for round number 1. Alrighty, YouTube, we are here for round number 1 of our League with Esper Asmo. Let's see what we got. Okay, hopefully they play some early stuff that makes Prismatic Ending good. This hand's especially good on the play because we get to go, excuse me, cycle Street Wraith on 1, see if we spike an Asmo. That's step 1. Alright, cycle Street Wraith again, see if we spike an Asmo. We did not, okay. But we do get to go turn 2 Talisman into Prismatic Ending, and then if we draw an Urza, we also get to play turn 3 Urza, which is pretty dope. We are going to get to play Prismatic Ending. So let's get Hallowed Fountain. And then... I guess I don't have to fetch yet, right? Because they have the Yavimaya. Maybe I shouldn't have fetched the first one, but... Alright, kill that. And hopefully we draw an Urza. And these are the draws that I really, really am excited about Talisman. They have Sylvan Anthem. See, that's awkward. This is one of those spots where we can get Asmo, but we can't cast it. I don't really want to kill this, though, so I think I'm just going to get an Asmo. And then if we draw a Cookbook or a Street Wraith or the Flourishing Fox or even another Ranger Captain, we could even go land 5, Ranger Captain, Cycle Fox, play Asmo. So I think I would rather do it this way. Probably should have fetched a little bit ago, but I don't know if it matters, because I am going to end up getting Godless Shrine. But alright, so they have an Archdruid, which we probably have to kill. Which I have green mana here, so I still don't have to fetch. So let's just go here, white, green, blue. And then we'll play Flooded Strand, attack for 3. We really need to find a Cookbook. That would be, I think Cookbook is probably our best draw, outside of Urza, of course, but... Alright, let them have some Scries. But yeah, this is I guess the issue with Ranger Captain, and I've played versions of Asmo before that have had Finale of Devastation, basically has more copies of Asmo, which is kind of what Ranger Captain offers you. The difference being Ranger Captain doesn't put Asmo directly into play like Finale does, so you do lose a little bit of value that way. So, that definitely comes up from time to time. Alright, let's see if we can find a Cookbook. We need something. Okay, there is a Cookbook. It's a little late to the party, but better late than never. And I think I have to kill the Realm Walker immediately. Yeah, I don't think I can let them untap with Realm Walker. But, I mean, they're out of cards, so... This is not the worst spot to be in. And I think I'm just going to play defense here. I'm not going to try and race them. Because now that we have Asmo and 2 Cookbooks in play, we're going to be able to take over this game as long as we just don't die. And, if I attack, and, it's just... I'm going to hang on to the land, too. I don't know, there's actually no reason to hang on to the land, right? I don't need to play it. I guess playing it's better if I find Urza, but... Alright, they found a Quirion Ranger. Let's see if they top their card or not. Should go show game log. They did put a card on top, which is a little scary. Kind of want to kill the Sylvan Anthem because I have all their other creatures covered with Asmore. So let's do that. Let's make some food now. And then I think I'm just going to kill their Sylvan Anthem. Because that's the one card that allows them to keep digging through their deck with the Scries. Alright, kill Sylvan Anthem, and I'm still just going to pass. Again, I think I'm just going to take over this game as long as I just play a little bit of damage control. Maybe attacking with 1 is okay, now that they don't have the Anthem in play, but... Elvish War Master. Okay, I can just kill that. That's fine. They can't activate it, right? Because it's 7. So they can go 3, 4, 5. Actually, they could have activated it. Right? Oh, but they can't attack with anything, because they can untap. Right, yeah. Because they could have went tap, 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 3 green, right? 3 green. Float a mana with Mystic, 4 green. Okay, they're conceding. So 1, 2, 3 with the War Master, 3 green. Float a mana with Mystic, 4 green. Bounce Yavimaya, untap Mystic, replay Yavimaya, 6, 7 mana, and then they could have attacked for, I guess it's only 3, right? Yeah, because everything else would have been tapped, but... Anyways, we got game 1 against Elves. Is Hushbringer good against them? I mean, it stops... What's the black-green one? Shaman of the Pack? And it stops Elvish War Master? Is that good enough? I don't think so. The issue with bringing in Hushbringer is it shuts off some of our better cards, like we need Asmo into Cookbook. So yeah, I don't think I can afford to bring it in. I will bring in the Path to Exile. Throat's a little stuck today. I don't know. I'm a little... I don't know. I don't know what word I'm looking for to describe it, but... are any of these other cards good? I don't think so. Sometimes they maybe bring in Chalice. I don't know if they have Chalice. I think I'm just going to do this for now. And I'm going to trim on a monitor, I think. Do I even want the Path? Yeah, I guess I do. They have some pretty important cards, like Elvish Archdruid and stuff like that, so I think Path is worth it. I guess I could bring in Disenchant for the Anthem. I don't know how much I care about that, though. And I have Prismatic Ending. I guess the Anthem is a little annoying in the sense that it finds them a little more gas, but... Okay, so this hand has Prismatic Ending into Cookbook plus Shadow Spear, Make a Food into Ranger Captain. It's pretty good. It is pretty good. They went to 6 and kept on 6. So there's a good chance I'm likely going to Prismatic Ending whatever this is. Is Quirion Ranger. The other alternative here is to go turn 1 Cookbook with the intention of not discarding a card. And then if they play a good 2-drop like War Master, then I can just kill the War Master on 2. Because I'm much more worried about War Master than I am Quirion Ranger, I think. So I think I'm just going to play the Cookbook. We get Godless Shrine. We get Godless Shrine, then I can maybe get Basic Island. Right, let's play Cookbook. Let's see what they do. They are thinking about the Cookbook. Or they have left the building. Alright, we're back. Or they're back. Green mana. Okay. Well, I guess if they were on a 1-laner, I should have killed the Ranger, but we didn't know that. Sylvan Anthem. Okay. Well, now I can just kill the Ranger. Because it kind of seems like they're on a 1-laner, right? Or else they wouldn't have... What was that noise? I think something fell. It scared me. It sounded loud. Okay. So let's just go Urza Saga. Let's play... I guess I'll play Cookbook, and then I'm going to kill the Korean Ranger. Because it looks like they're on a one-lander, which means if I kill the Korean Ranger, they're now on no more... They don't have a second mana source, hypothetically. Just kidding. Never mind. Another Prismatic Ending. I think I'm just going to pass and hold up the Saga activation. I could play the Ranger Captain there, but I think it's better to do this. Heritage Druid is fine. Put a card on the bottom. Let's get Hallowed Fountain. Hopefully we just draw a blue mana source. That's pretty good too. So let's just go... Now I think I want to cast a Ranger Captain. So let's float a mana. Let's get Springleaf... Oh yeah, we can just get Springleaf Trove and cast the Urza that way. Right, yeah, okay, this is good. Yeah, let's just play Urza. Let's make a food. Make a food. Tap this, play Shadow Spear. I don't get to play the Ranger Captain this turn, but I think that's okay. Green mana. Okay, you have a War Master. That's fine. We got some 8/8s, though. We do got some 8/8s. Yeah, I think, unfortunately, opponent just kind of missed some land drops here. Not really much of a game. I think these matchups are generally pretty favorable, but, you know, obviously it's even easier when they miss a bunch of land drops. Alright, now we can go tap this, play Asmore, go get another book, tap food, play book, tap... Okay, yeah, they're very dead. Yeah, opponent missed some land drops. I think matchups like this are generally pretty favorable, because especially when you add Prismatic Ending into the mix, you just get a nice, clean, efficient removal spell for all their early stuff, and obviously Asmo just takes over the game by itself, so... We're 1-0. Hope you enjoy the games. I'll see you back in just a little bit for round number 2. Alright, YouTube, we're back here for round number 2. Let's see if we can keep this going. 1-0. This hand is a bit awkward, but we do have a Saga and a somewhat fast Monitor, and we're on the play. I think I'm going to keep it. It's really missing either Land 3 or Daredevil. Both of those would be an acceptable draw. So we're going to hope we find either of those. I think this hand's worth keeping, though. It is high upside. Like, even if we find any land, we get to go out, kind of go off with Saga. So, Dark Slick Shores. I hope this is not Adnaz, because the Adnaz matchup is bad. Especially after we cut Thoughtseize. Ooh, could be the Dimir Kitchen deck. Okay, alright. I don't know if we're favored in this matchup. These Kitchen Mirrors are always super weird. Like, super duper weird. Okay, well, that's the issue with playing Ranger Captain. That is the issue with playing Ranger Captain. Sometimes you literally can't even come close to casting it. I'm not going to discard it to make a food quite yet. Although that is something that's on my radar. Looks like they have maybe Emery? Discarding Emery. Huh. Oh, because I want to play Asmo. Okay. Okay. I get it. I see. Interesting. I don't know what the rest of their hand is, but I feel like I would have discarded something else, or just played the Emery this turn. Especially if they don't have Daredevil. Depends on what their hand is. Alright, we need a land. We really need a land. Or Daredevil. Because if I miss on land, I kind of have to just slam this Monitor and discard 2 cards, which does not feel good. Okay. The funny thing about Bobbling Street Wraith is, like, I'm just going to cycle this so they don't actually know what I drew. Man. Okay. So, this is really awkward. Man, I'm in a really tough spot. I think I have to discard Ranger Captain, discard Urza, and then just pay 2 mana for a Monitor and really hope to draw a white source to kill Asmo. Because I'm not winning this game if they have an unchecked Asmo. And I'm not even close to casting the Ranger Captain, and I'm still 2 mana away from casting Urza. And I really, really need to kill the Asmo this turn. That is 100% something I need to do. So, this doesn't feel good, and it's definitely not good, but we really, really need to do this, I think. Alright, well, at least we can kill the Asmo, so not all hope is not lost. Notably, it exiles the Asmo too, which is really good, because that means they can't cookbook it back. So they're debating on discarding a card to kill the Thought Monitor. They chose not to, so their hand must be pretty loaded. And we also just discarded 2 really good payoffs, so we're kind of in a weird spot here. And then they just probably go land, make a construct. We can make a construct in the 3rd chapter and then get... I don't know, maybe Springleaf Drum? Do they not have a land? Looks like they maybe don't have a land. But they did hit a Daredevil, which is kind of bad. Because now if they have a Thought Monitor, they can actually cast it, because they have 4 artifacts, make 2 artifacts off the cookbooks. Okay, so they don't have Monitor. Drew a Flooded Strand. Alright, well, I certainly have to make a construct. I wonder if I'm supposed to bounce Emery. Is that denies them a construct from the saga? I actually kind of like that play. Just get probably Springleaf Drum, because I already have 2 cookbooks and no Daredevil anyways. And then I can go tap Springleaf, construct, bounce Emery, attack for 2, play Shadow Spear. I think I like that. It's nice it's a little tempo play. I guess there's no reason to do this pre-combat. I'll attack first. So they take 2, and they're probably in a spot where they have to get the Spell Bomb to bounce the construct, and then we're just, like, kind of pretty far ahead on mana. Yeah, alright, well, I've already set up this line, so I'm gonna do it. And I'm just gonna get Hallowed Fountain so I can cast Urza. Well, I guess I have this, right? Just, I don't know, just in case this dies, I guess I'll get it. In case they, like, kill both my creatures somehow. You never know. My life total shouldn't matter when I have a bunch of food and a Shadow Spear. So I think it's fine to do it this way. So they're gonna make 2 food. They have an Emery, but they can't make a construct token, and they're kind of choked on mana. They missed a land drop, and they're losing the Saga. So we're ahead on mana and slightly ahead on board. Oh, I messed up. Okay, so what I should have done is bounced in combat. I screwed that up. I forgot about Rebuke. Yeah, I should have bounced in combat so they would have burned the mana before I went to my second main phase. Yeah, that was bad. Rebuke had not crossed my mind. They didn't float a mana. Alright, they did get the Spell Bomb, which makes sense. Okay. We need to find a Ranger Captain. Although it's actually not even good because we have no cards. Because now if I draw Asmo, I can't even play it. I can cookbook back in Urza, which is probably going to be my play, actually. Yeah, I can cookbook back in Urza. Does that change things? No, I don't think so. It looks weird to attack with just Thought Monitor, but if I attack with just Construct, they're gonna bounce the Construct anyways. They don't want to bounce the Thought Monitor, and I need a creature untapped to be able to pay 4 mana to sack the book. So that's why I'm not attacking with the Construct here. Maybe it's bad because it doesn't force the issue on the Spell Bomb. So, like, if I attack with a Construct, I eat their mana. But they had, you know, like, They just didn't use their mana anyways, so what was the point? Looks like they have Urza. Urza is going to be tough to beat with this board state, and they still have Daredevil to make more food. Yeah, this is not good. This is not good. I don't really know how different the game would be if I had a Shadow Spear. Because I could have guaranteed a Shadow Spear if I had just bounced the Emry in combat the turn that I did that, but, like, I still wouldn't activate Shadow Spear this turn. I don't think it would have changed too much. Alright, Urza spin. Yeah, it's probably time to pack it in. Yeah, alright. This game is too far gone at this point. Alright, I'm going to bring in Disenchant for Saga. I'm going to bring in Hercule's Recall, also for Saga. I think Teferi is good. Needle is weird. Like, back when I was like playing the Urza Kitchen mirrors, like the blue-black mirrors, every time I played a mirror match, I never want Needle. It's super awkward. Like, there are spots where you want to name... There are spots where you want to name Urza Saga, and then you just draw your own Urza Saga, and it's super weird. It's just super awkward. I usually just cut Street Wraith. Is that... I don't know if that's good. Because, like, the theory behind cutting Street Wraith is... You don't necessarily want to throw Asmo on the table before you get value out of it. But obviously, by cutting Street Wraith, I have less answers, or less ways to turn it on. I also am kind of thinking that maybe these games get into top deck wars, and I want to trim on some of the talismans. Like, yeah, they fix my mana, but at the same time, like, if the game goes long, this is essentially a blank later in the game, and I think these games do generally go long. The other argument is I'm on the play and I just want to slam Urza as fast as possible, but they have Metallic Rebuke, so it's not even as good to slam it early, because they can just rebuke it, so I think I'm going to do this. I think I like the way this looks. There's also an argument to cutting Prismatic Ending, because it's like, just straight up a 1-for-1, and kind of loses value in a lot of exchanges, but hand's obviously a mulligan. Yeah, this is the awkward part about playing Teferi. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this hand and put back a second Cavern, because the second Cavern doesn't actually do anything for me in terms of casting Teferi. So I need if I'm in a situation, like, think about it this way. I know it looks weird to put back a land when I have a 3-drop in my hand, but if you're in a situation like this exact spot where you need to draw a land to play the Teferi anyways, and the other land in your hand does not help you cast it, it makes a lot of sense to put back the land. Because now you're in a spot where if I keep both caverns in the strand and draw land, now I'm flooding out. Whereas if I keep only one cavern and draw a land, I have the exact number of lands that I need. That's kind of why I wanted to do it that way. Am I disenchanting the cookbook? Not now. I'm going to wait to see if they have a Daredevil. If they have a Daredevil, I might do it, but... Okay. I do get punished if they have Asmo, but... Okay. Well, they have no Daredevil, and I'm glad I didn't kill the first cookbook. Looks like they have Emry, though. Yeah. Okay. This is why Hercule's Recall just looks so kind of embarrassing sometimes. It's just like such a hard card to set up. I think I'm actually going to draw a card. I really need to hit a land drop here. Oops. It's kind of like a land. A land that ETB's tapped. Alright, I'll just do untap. Get a Hallowed Fountain, I think. Sure. Yeah, this is not good. This is not good. Our draws did not really line up that well this match. We were out Asmo'd, as they say. I mean, I think both of my keeps were fine. I think I played game one pretty well. There was like the decision to bounce the Emery that I think was correct at the time because they missed a land drop and were losing the Saga. And then they just peeled back-to-back lands. So that, I mean, it looked awkward, but I think given the information that I had, it was the right play at the time. But it just obviously did not pan out. I gotta just jam Tef. They probably have a pile of Metallic Rebukes in their hands, so gotta get them out of them. So gotta get them out of their hands some way. Oh, didn't rebuke, huh? All right, I'll just plus. I'm down to plus. No reason to bounce anything quite yet. I guess they're just gonna play Urza. Yeah, missing land drops does not help. Yep, this is Urza, and we are pretty much toast. There's not really much that's going to get us out of this now. Yeah, alright, I've seen enough. Yeah, a little unfortunate. You know, I think that we played game one fine, and we just kind of got mana screwed game two, so not a whole lot to say there. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed the games. I'll see you back in just a little bit for round number 3. Alrighty, YouTube, back here for round number 3. 1-1, see if we can kind of right the ship a little bit, catch back up. I think this hand's fine against Luris. Hopefully they're playing a mid-range deck and not Hammer Time, because this hand is a little slow. But a lot of our hands are going to be pretty slow. Okay, we're happy to see Blackleaf Cliffs. We are less happy to see that. We'd like to find a Prismatic Ending. They bobbled us. What did they see? They saw a Talisman of Progress. Alright, Cycle Street Wraith. And that is not what we are looking for. Just trying to debate if I want to shock to play the Spell Bomb. I think I do. Getting the Spell Bomb into play is nice. Shocking is not nice, but... because then I can go turn 2 Talisman, turn 3 Urza with the Spell Bomb up, so they can't really kill the Urza. Because we can just bounce the Urza. But that's assuming we have enough time, and we might just get obliterated by this Ragavan. Well, I can't cast that, so that was one turn too late to the party. Would have been pretty good last turn, but... and now... I kind of need to get black mana, although I'm just taking way too much damage. Yeah, I gotta get black mana. Mana base has not been working out terribly well this league. Maybe the mana needs a little bit of work. Maybe it just needs to be less painful. But I do have Cavern. You know, if I had a Cavern there, I wouldn't have to shock. Because the Cavern cast the Asmo and the like. If you look at Cavern, you know, imagine if the Godless Shrine was Cavern, it would just cast all 3 of the spells without having to take 3 damage there. Oh, they're gonna get hard cast the 4/2? No. Oh, we're just gonna get burned out. Yeah, a little unfortunate. Do they really have 3 bolts? Yeah, they have 3 bolts. Mismatching bolts, by the way. Alright. I guess we got triple bolted. Okay, word. Guess we're dead. Well, at least it was quick. Against Rakdos mid-range. None of these cards seem particularly great. Soul Guide Lantern is decent. I really don't like Path to Exile against them. Nihil Spellbomb also decent, and I usually just shave on Street Wraiths. This is one of those matchups where you're not trying to aggressively Asmo, you're trying to hold on to it for a turn, potentially, or two. Maybe I can also cut the Springleaf Drum. Nah, Springleaf Drum is mana fixing. So the idea behind cutting Street Wraith, and a lot of people always ask me this, when you're in a matchup where you want to slow roll Asmo, like when you're playing against a deck that has a lot of creatures and a lot of removal, you want to slow roll the Asmo for a little bit because you want to make sure you can get value out of it before it dies. So that's the theory behind cutting some number of Street Wraiths. This hand is a bit weird, but I'm going to try it. Also, keeping 7 cards against the Thoughtseize deck is pretty important. This hand does have a turn 3 Urza lined up if we find a land, and even if we don't, we still have Ranger Captain. And they didn't lead on Ragavan. That is very, very good for us. I guess now they just take Talisman, right? Because our hand's just Talisman and all payoffs. So they definitely should take Talisman. I would assume. Maybe if they have a Shatter, they can choose to not take the Talisman, but makes sense. Probably have to sacrifice the Spell Bomb here to hit land drops. I don't like doing that because I like being able to protect my threats, especially Urza, but I'm in a spot where I kind of have to because I need to start hitting land drops. I mean, the thing is, these Ranger Captains are 2-for-1s, so. They took Urza. Interesting. Okay. I guess their thought process is we have 2 Ranger Captains anyways, so I guess that makes sense. Alright. Did not draw land. Get a Godless Shrine. Please give me a land. Nope. No such luck. This is not a good showing for this deck. Not a good showing. I did 5-0 with an Esper version. It was slightly different than this. It played Thalia and Esper Sentinel, and I was going to try that version, but I got this list from Spider that I wanted to try out, but maybe I'll go back to that one next. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just me. I mean, I've gotten mana screwed a couple of times. This is like the second match in a row I've got mana screwed, so, you know, I'm sure that has something to do with it. It's not a bad draw. So I could get the Fox here, but I think I'd rather get the Asmo just because it's higher upside. Theoretically, I could actually cast the Fox, and I can't cast the Asmo, but Asmo, again, is much higher upside. If I draw a Wraith or a Cookbook. Or even another Ranger Captain, because then this Ranger Captain can now get the Fox. The next Ranger Captain, I should say. I will discard, I guess, the second Thought Monitor, because I don't even think I'm going to be able to guess the first one. Go. Really unfortunate. Yeah, not a great showing. Not a great showing. It's one of those things where I just like, just put me out of my misery. Just start casting threats, because I mean, I'm not gonna say I'm never winning this game because there's probably a very small chance I do, but it's probably sub 5%. And it's one of those spots where I really want to concede, but I could imagine a string of 5 perfect draws that maybe get me back in, but I guess it maybe starts with that. Maybe. Am I even casting the Asmo? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have to discard monitor. Yeah, I think that's fine. Because I can just book back the monitor at some point if I want to. It's gonna pass. It's gonna put a bunch of material into play. And this is definitely a matchup where the second mode on book comes up quite a bit. The rebuy a card. Because now I can start rebuying Urza. Or even Thought Monitor, but probably Urza first. Well, that sucks. They also have Bolt. Alright, your turn. Now they have Luris Explosives. Yeah. Alright, I guess I'll give myself like one draw step for an Urza. They're not even playing the Luris. Would have been good a couple turns ago. Man, it's really, really unfortunate. Alright, things dead. Alright, 4-2, how do you beat it? Go. The joke is they can't beat it. And by that I mean I can't possibly win this game. We tried. Got mana screwed for a little too often. I mean, even if I drew, like, imagine that game if I just draw the Daredevil, the turn where I, like, discarded the monitor to play the Asmo, I would have just been able to keep the monitor and play that and maybe, you know, get back in the game that way, but it's just really awkward because we just didn't have enough material. And now that, again, they have Luris Explosives, I'd have no chance. Oh, they can't play the Luris because I have one Swamp. Okay, I guess I'll give myself one draw step for an Urza. I don't even know that Urza's good enough at this point. I know that was going to happen. Alright. Pass the turn. Drew the Fox. I could have played the Fox, but... Still need an Urza. Even a Saga. We've gone through almost half of our deck and haven't drawn a single Saga yet. Any Saga would have been insane at any point this game. Alright, cycle that. Just anything, please. Okay, there we go. It's probably going to get countered, but... Yep. That's Black Source for Luris, which we know they have. That's enough from me. Also drew the Cavern a turn too late. You know, it's just like really, really unfortunate how the how my draws kind of panned out. Like their draws lined up so unbelievably well against like my exact sequence of draws. Like if I'd waited a turn on the Urza, I have the Cavern. If I'd waited a turn to play the Asmo, I would have drawn the Daredevil. Like, you know, just a lot of things that could have gone differently. Basically everything that possibly could have gone wrong did go wrong. And I also didn't find an Urza Saga in the top 30 cards, which their deck has a very hard time beating. So, yeah, overall, I like this matchup. I think this matchup is favorable. It's just, I don't know, our draws were just very awkward that match. So, we are unfortunately 1-2. I'm going to keep playing, though. We'll see you back in just a little bit for round number 4. All right, YouTube, we are back here for round number 3. Let's see if we can go ahead and rate the ship here. Trying to showcase this new awesome deck, and we're just getting kind of obliterated. This hand doesn't actually do anything. I'm gonna ship this one. 2 Sagas, huh? Yeah, my draws have not been good. So what's best case scenario? Turn 1 Saga, turn 2 Saga Talisman, turn 3 Flow to Mana Slam Urza, and hope that's good enough, but then we lose value out of both of these Sagas? I mean, if we draw any land, it's pretty good. Alright, I'm gonna try it. Sounds a little risky, but I think it's better than going to 5. Alright, land please. Pretty please. Alright, there we go. That is very good. Because now we get to go Saga Talisman, threaten turn 3 Urza, or activate Saga. Well, both of which are pretty good. Ooh, Control is a really good matchup. Control decks just have such a hard time interacting with Saga on a meaningful level. Guess I wish I didn't put back the Daredevil now, but... then ended up drawing the Cookbook. Like, hindsight, I would have put back the second Talisman, but the second Talisman is pretty good if I don't draw a land, so... Counter spell. I'm surprised I didn't counter the Talisman. It's a fairy plus. No minus, huh? We do need a blue source to slam this Urza, so I'm gonna dig for a blue source. Not quite, huh? Not quite. So I can play... Let's go Saga, second Talisman, and then pass. We can activate Saga now. So this isn't too bad. So I guess they're going to plus again and then Wrath at instant speed. Is that the joke? Okay. That appears to be the joke. Just debating if I want to make a Saga token here or not. Because it's so likely they have Wrath. It's super awkward because what I want to be able to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, actually, I can do that. Okay, so what I can do is I can go float a mana, get a cookbook. I think this works out. Yeah, float a mana, get a cookbook. And then we can go discard a card, 5th artifact. Oh, but then they're just gonna let Tef die and end step the verdict. So what I want to do is go discard Urza, tap Talisman, mana floating, monitor. Even if they counter the monitor, that's fine. Our leftovers are land, Urza, and two a Talisman and a land untapped. Or 3 lands, right? So we still have mana for Urza. That's the thought process behind that. And if it all happens, we get a 5th artifact here and a 6th artifact here. That's 6 to threaten Teferi. So I think I'm gonna do that. And then if they don't counter if they don't like counter this and let the Tef die, I'm just gonna pass. I'm just gonna force them to cast the verdict here. Yeah. I'm choosing to cast Path to Exile. Guess that's also good. Wonder if I want to play another Saga here. They have 3 cards. I am a little bit worried about Tef Hold Up Verdict. Let's go ahead and cycle the Wraith. See where we're at. Alright, that doesn't really change things. I'm gonna play the Saga, and then just pass. Threaten, hold up. I'm just gonna hold up a token. See what they do. Looks like they're gonna draw 2 with Charm. Sure. Draw 2, resolves. I wish I had the main deck Needle, because I could have Needled Teferi, even though it's on 6. Needling Teferi means they can't verdict on my turn, which is pretty huge. It forces them to act on their turn, whereas like now they kind of get the you know what I mean? Like they have the ability to kind of make me react to what they're doing. But I mean, I can just choose to just keep slamming Urzas and not do anything else. So I guess I'll keep doing that. Now I can get Spellbomb too to protect Urza. All right, let's go to combat. Maybe they have Snap Path. No, it's a fairy. You. Blue, 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 white. I could sack the Spellbomb to bounce the Construct to make it so they don't get the draw card, but yeah, it's fine. So they go to 15. How much do I want to commit here? The problem with playing Urza, 1, 2, 3, is I don't get to hold up the Saga token, so why don't we just go thin our deck a little bit, get Hallowed Fountain, and then just play Monitor, hold up Saga again. I basically don't want to commit this Urza until they've cast the Wrath. That's kind of my thought process. I can still present lethal, right? Next turn. I can still force a Wrath, or force some action. Because this is 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yeah, it is. Okay. Yeah, I'll just pass. Hold up Saga. Maybe they just don't have Wrath. Not sure. It's kind of weird. Oh, should have made a food there. I forgot to make a food. Alright, let's just make Saga token. I think I'm just going to start attacking them with everything. We'll just get a cookbook. Yeah, alright, attack you. I'm going to stop attacking Teferi now that I have a lethal attack. So this kind of forces the Wrath, right? What's this? Oh, Terminus. Sure. Okay. Terminus resolves. Now we go land, human, Urza. Urza make a thing. Should be a lot easier if I had if I had Needle on Teferi. This game probably wouldn't have been close if I had Needle main deck and hit Teferi. Because they wouldn't have been able to do anything on my turn. Actually, hold on. I'm gonna cycle Wraith before I do anything. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Spin. Cast Monitor. Draw 2. And I guess I might as well play the drum, because it's kind of free, and then we'll pass. Alright, your turn, opponent. Alright, plus Tef. Maybe they have another Terminus? Well, I got a lethal attack, so let's go ahead and start by attacking. Another Terminus. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Spin. Because I can still cast this card's post-combat with the Fairy. Alright, so now let's just go Spell Bomb, bounce the Urza, and then we'll let that happen. That's fine, I don't really care. Go second main, cast Asmor, get a cookbook, blue, blue, this, play Urza. And then we'll go make a food. And they have 2 cards left. So why don't we go cookbook? I could cast Ranger Captain. It's probably pretty good, right? White, white, colorless, Ranger Captain. Get another Asmo just in case. Play land. And I will pass. I don't know if I'm going to sack the Ranger Captain at all. But if they try to go for Snap Terminus, I can actually just sack the Ranger Captain in response. Like, if they play Snapcaster Mage, and let's say they go to Fairy Plus and try to play Snapcaster Mage on my turn, choosing to bounce the Construct. Sure. That is acceptable. But yeah, I can respond to the Snapcaster Mage and Ranger Captain. They're gonna fire up the Colonnade. Alright. Guess it's time to get busy. I guess I'll just sack a food. I do have a fetchable land, right? I mean, that's the thing. It's like, they're never going to be able to kill me through all this food, so... We are not really ever in danger of dying to a Celestial Colonnade. Alright, so we go to 10, we go to 6, that's fine, I accept. Everything happens. Their Teferi is likely going to be attacked. I guess I could have just killed the colony with Asmore, right? Why didn't I just do that? I don't know. I probably should just... Yeah, I don't know why I didn't... I don't know. I wasn't thinking there. I should just kill the colony with Asmo. I don't know what I was thinking. Alright, Teferi down. They're at 13. I could have also ending the Teferi. Sure, I'll play a 4-2. So I'll make some food before playing a 4-2. I'm kind of just taking game actions at random at this point. I'll leave up one activation. Guess I should also probably just do this too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is probably better than playing a 4-2, right? Cast this, draw 2. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Spin again. Play land. 2, 3, 4. Cast Daredevil. Your turn. Your turn, opponent. They're going to need a lot more Wraths. Let's just say that. They are going to need a lot more Wraths. Ashiok Dream Render main deck. Alright, I'll fetch him response. I'll get a Plains. And Ashiok resolves. Sure. So you're gonna try and mill me, huh? Gonna try and mill me. I don't know if that's gonna work out. Just have lethal anyways. 3, 6, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah. Could also just ending the Ashiok if I needed to. Not that I really need to, but... What is this? White mana, Prismatic Ending the Asmore. 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm just gonna have it kill itself because I can... Well, actually, I just have more Asmos, right? Yeah, like this just doesn't matter. I just have 2 more. I was gonna say I want it to kill itself so I can cookbook it back, but it doesn't actually matter. Alright, they're on 1 card. I think I'm gonna cast Prismatic Ending on the Ashiok before I do anything else to see what their last card is, to see if it's a counterspell. Because if they do counter the Prismatic Ending, I kind of do want to kill the Ashiok, because I am on 19 cards. That is one of the ways I could lose this game. So I'm gonna just cast I'm gonna cast this first and see if they counter it. It's been a long, drawn-out affair. Alright, Daredevil comes back. Prismatic Ending, your Ashiok. Black, blue, white. Done. See if they like to counter this. They do not wish to counter this. I attack you with all of my creatures. Because they can't currently animate the colonnade. So they go to 3. We then cast Asmore. I think we have a book left, right? No, we don't. I could spin. I guess I'll do at least one spin. 2, 3, 4, 5. Spin. There I go. I could spin again. I'm just going to hold up all my food activations. Oh, I probably should have sacked Ranger Captain upkeep, huh? I guess sacking Ranger Captain upkeep... Yeah, I probably should have done that. Okay. Scry is fine. Yeah, I definitely should have sacked this in their upkeep. I was gonna say I could wait till I see if they draw a Terminus, because they showed me Terminus. So I was like, the thing about you can do with Ranger Captain and Terminus is if they draw a Miracle and reveal it, you can respond to the trigger and then sack the Ranger Captain. But it's probably better to just upkeep it in that case. All right, seems like they're just trying to time me out, so I'm just gonna go to attacks. Settle the Wreckage? Okay. Alright. They're dead. Take a bunch of damage. Alright, minus 10. That was a long one. That was a long one. Alright, Teferi coming in. Flusterstorm coming in. There's a good chance they have, like, Rest in Peace or Stony Silence. Prismatic Ending, I think, is still decent. Wonder if I want... Oh, I want the Needle. Yeah, the Needle. Disenchant? It is good against Stony Silence and Rest in Peace. You know what I think I'm going to do? I think I'm going to cut all the talismans in this matchup, because going fast is not something that I actually want to do into... Like, I'm not trying to jam into counter magic. I guess we have Cavern, so maybe Talisman is good, but I don't think I need to be fast. Shadow Spear is completely unnecessary. But yeah, you know what I mean? I don't think I need to be that fast. I think I can play... I can go toe-to-toe with them in the long game pretty easily. I think I'm just going to cut 2 Street Wraiths. Just like, when in doubt, that's the card I usually cut, because I just don't know what else to cut. Let's do this. Alright, hopefully this game isn't quite as long as that one. So I have a Saga and a bunch of uncastables. I'm going to ship this. No lands. Okay, Santa's acceptable. I think I'm going to put back the 2 uncastables, because Cavern can still play Ranger Captain. Yeah. I think that makes sense to me. Let's go Cycle Wraith, Cavern on Human, pass. See if they have a Stony Silence or a Rest in Peace, maybe. They have a Hall of Storm Giants, huh? Okay. I don't know what this one does. 6 mana to make it a 7/7 with Ward 3. Okay. Sure. Man, Cavern is really good against them. Looks like they have Teferi. White. Prismatic Ending? Looks like Prismatic Ending. I'm just not going to make a food in response. Not really a lot of reason to. See, this is the spot where I really wish that I had something else to Ranger Captain for, like an Esper Sentinel, or I've played Thraben Inspector as well. Something like that, you know? Whereas, like, because now I can't really cast the Asmo. I mean, the thing is I can get a Flourishing Fox with this one, so it's not that bad, right? So, like, if you draw 2 Ranger Captains, it's fine, because you can get a Fox with the second one. So it's not too bad. Oh, that was a good draw, too. I'm going to attack for 3 first and see what they do. Blue, 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 white. Tap, draw. Okay. That is fine. think I'm just going to cycle Wraith, play Asmo, play Cookbook. Guess I could also play the second Ranger Captain, but I kind of don't need to commit more. This already kind of forces a Wrath, so I don't really need to commit more. I think this is enough. I think this is 6 power, you know. If they deal with this board, then I can Ranger Captain again. It's not too bad. Also, Ranger Captain just makes Miracle Terminus look so bad. Because again, it's that same spot where I can just... Ooh, I could sack the Ranger Captain here. Nah, I'd rather just do it. I think this is fine. I'm just going to let them have this. I could sack the Ranger Captain in response to the trigger, but given that I have another Ranger Captain, I think I'm just going to let this go. But yeah, Ranger Captain really good against Terminus, because, again, as I said before, they can Miracle Trigger. You can respond to the Miracle Trigger. Oh, they killed the Cookbook. I was not expecting that. Okay, sure. So I guess they're going to Wrath me? Is that what's happening? Yeah, they're going to Wrath me. Do I want to proactively sack the Ranger Captain? I'm certainly not going to cast another Ranger Captain. Nah. Like, if I proactively sack the Ranger Captain, they just need a removal spell, right? So at least if I don't sack the Captain, I force them to at least cast the Wrath. And I just have another one anyways, so I think it's okay. Maybe this time I just cast the Fox. Because I have a Hallowed Fountain to cast the Fox. Alright, Terminus resolves. Actually, I think sacking that was bad. I think I'd rather have it on the bottom of my deck. Yeah, there's no reason to sack that. I'd rather just have it in my deck. We casting the Fox? I guess the Fox is good if I draw... No, because I boarded out 2 Street Wraiths, so I can't actually make it bigger. Then I'll just get an Asmore. I think this is okay. I mean, this, I guess, is kind of an issue, right? It is a 6/6. 7/7, actually. Are they just going to do that? No, they're going to play Tef. Gonna play Tef. Okay. Now I can get the Fox and cycle it. That actually works out quite well for me. Alright, so white, blue. Play Ranger Captain. We'll get the Fox. I'm glad that the Fox actually came up. Play Asmore. Get a book. Play a book. I guess they're going to counter the book, huh? No, they didn't counter the book. That is fine. Alright, I guess they're going to cast a Wrath. Plus Tef, hold up Wrath. Yeah. No. Teferi, Hero of Dominaria. Also not great for me. Also not great. Okay. Well, they can't Terminus. Oh, I was probably supposed to make a food end of turn. Discard the Disenchant, because now I can't make a food in combat if they have Snapcaster Mage. Yeah, that was bad. Crap. Should I cast Thought Monitor pre-combat? It's really bad if they have Verdict. I think I'm just going to go to attacks and try and attack Hero. But I messed up pretty badly. I should have made a food end of turn. Oh, they just have Cryptic? Okay, I guess it didn't matter. Guess it did not matter. Alright, let's go ending this one. Blue, black, white. Can't actually cast Monitor, though, so I will pass. We're very quickly going to get browned by this Hall of Storm Giants, although control players usually never activate their man land, so... I don't know if I've ever seen it. I mean, I guess they activated Colonnade last game, but It's like one of the first times I've ever seen a control player actually activate their creature land. Usually they just, planeswalker, planeswalker, planeswalker. Oh, oh, oh. Nope. Okay. Bottom of the library. I'd say this has been not the most fun experience, but it's kind of what you get when you play against miracles, I guess. Alright, discard disenchant. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, sure. If they counter this, I'll probably just pack it in. They didn't counter it. I'm just gonna pack it anyways. I got nothing left. Alright. Disenchant does not seem necessary. I'm just gonna keep in a couple talismans in the play. They didn't show us any disenchant targets. Actually, what if I keep in the Asmors? I'll do it this way, that's fine. Alright, I'm on the play. We finally have an Urza Saga on turn 2. Feels good, man. I mean, the rest of our hand is not great, but we have a Saga on 2, so we take those. Their deck is usually fairly weak to an early Saga, so... Alright, they have an Opt. Optaruski. Put a card on top. See if they have a Disenchant. Nope, no Disenchant. Alright, pass the turn. Start making constructs. Everything is fine. Do they have a Teferi? No, no Teferi. Let's just fetch first. Get Watery Grave because we have the plains in hand. Make a construct. Jeez. Make another construct. Get a cookbook. Play another saga. And we'll slam for 5. Have to exile. Alright, you got it. Go. Got plenty more where that came from. And this is kind of the reason why control is just not, not where you want to be right now. Yeah, sure. I get to bounce my construct, but do I have enough mana to Ending Teferi and make... I do, right? Oh, that's gas. I have enough mana to Ending Teferi and make a thing with Saga, right? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so we go black, blue, white. Done. Pass. We can make a Saga token. Start going nutso with that. White, white, blue. Sure. What are they gonna do? Bouncing the food token. Smart, I guess, because they don't want me to sack it. Well, they do. If I sack it, that means I don't. That means I'm not making a Saga token, so they don't really care if I sack it. All right, let's make a token. Let's do this. Get back Daredevil. Let's make another token. And I think I am just going to get... I think I'm going to get Needle and Name Teferi, Hero of Dominaria. And then I'm going to kill this Teferi. I guess I could name Raveler anyways, but... I don't know if that's right to do it that way. Then I'm just going to pass. I'm going to hold up Flusterstorm rather than commit another threat. I could have slammed a 4-2 there, but... I think this is fine. If they have, like, Hardcast Terminus, then I can just fire off the Flusterstorm. They're not very good at miracling it. They've yet to miracle a Terminus this entire match. So this is 16 right now. 17, 18. Okay, attack. White, white. What's this? 5 mana. It's a Shark Typhoon? Fracturing Gust. Absolutely not. No way, no how. And we have this. Good thing we have this Flusterstorm, huh? It's a really good thing we have this Flusterstorm. Just gonna throw that out there. Alright, so they go to 2. They have another one they could maybe get out of this. Alright, go to 2. Alright, play a 4-2. Your turn. Don't have a second Fracturing Gust, please. That would not be very pretty for me. Snapcaster doesn't do it. Can have Hardcast Terminus, I guess, but I have enough Daredevils that I just don't really mind this. I mean, they are on 5 cards. This game is surprisingly not over. Oh, now it probably is. I have enough mana to play both. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I do. Alright, let's do this. It's uptick because I don't want them killing it with Colonnade. I should probably make a food first to give them less information. Terminus makes the second ability on Cookbook pretty awkward, because all my stuff goes to the bottom. Are they passing? Well, we have Teferi. Oh, okay. Well, now they just die. Because we have Teferi. Alright. So we're 2-2. This match took a long time. What are we on the recording? 33 minutes. I'll have to try and trim that down, but this has been a long, long match. We got pretty fortunate in this game to win, but alright, get a book. Play a book. Attack you for 4. Kill your Colonnade. I guess they could have Shark... No, if they have Shark Typhoon, I just kill it. Yeah. Alright, I'm going to defeat your Colonnade. What's this? I also defeat that. Dead human token. Take 4 damage. And we're 2-2. Alright, after a nice, long, drawn-out match. I mean, you just kind of, you saw that, at least that game 3, I showcased the power of Urza Saga versus Control and why I don't think Control is really that playable right now. I mean, I guess if you worked really, really hard, you could maybe find a way to build your Control deck that's actually palatable against Saga, but it's rough. But in any case, we're 2-2. Let's see if we can get the classic Jund 5-0 in the last round, which would be 3-2. I'll see you back in just a little bit for round number 5. Alrighty, everybody, we're here for round number 5. 2-2. Let's see if we can finish the league with an at least break even. So our opponent revealed the Luris, which means either Hammer Time or some sort of mid-range deck. This hand's quite good if you're playing mid-range, really bad if you're playing Hammer Time. So it's a coin flip. I'm gonna keep it. Just no planes, no planes, no planes. Don't play planes. Don't play planes. Please don't play planes. And Blitzdammer. You know, it's like every time I keep a hand like this against Luris, I'm just flipping a coin, and it's just the ultimate sweat. Alright, and they play Channeler and not Ragavan. Everything's coming up Millhouse. Alright, I'm going to cycle Wraith on 1. Just play Hallowed Fountain tapped. Go Saga on 2. Activate on 3. Activate Cookbook on 4. Maybe Cookbook, maybe Shadow Spirit, depending on what they do. I imagine they will take Ranger Captain. Seems to be like the most logical take here, because I can get Asmo. Yep. It's fine, we can just play Saga. Not too bad. Saga is really good as long as you're not facing down a ton of pressure like with Ragavan. Let's see what else they got. Maybe a bauble, maybe another creature. I wonder if they're playing Rakdos or Grixis. It's weird. I don't think I've seen the Rakdos deck much at all since the Grixis deck has been put into the metagame. Because it just kind of seems like, why would you play Rakdos over Grixis when you could just splash for Iteration? Because Iteration is just an incredibly powerful card, and it's like mostly free. Oops. Should probably play my land. Alright, drawing second Daredevil, not great. We don't got much going on here. What are we looking to draw? So they played their Watergrave untapped, which leads me to believe possibly Death Shadow. We'll see. Well, they can't play Shadow this turn, so maybe they're just Lurising? No, Dash Monkey. It's not great. Alright, they can't cast that, thankfully. Although, I really would have liked to draw that. That would have been a good one to draw. This is a matchup where Cavern of Souls really shines because they have Fortron in the lock. And you get into these situations where, you know, if you play an Asmo on a board where they have a bunch of creatures and you have some extra food lying around, you know, Drown in the Lock would normally they just counter your Asmo, move on with their life. But now when we introduce Cavern into the mix, they have to drown the Asmo when it's already in play, and they just lose all their creatures anyways. So Cavern does make this matchup a lot more interesting. Is there any reason to play Cookbook here? I don't think so. Just gonna make a token. I need to at least threaten a block on Ragavan. I don't know if this matchup is bad. I feel like it's close, but I don't know. I feel it's weird. Like the games kind of end in blowouts either way. It doesn't feel like there's a ton of. It doesn't feel like there's a ton of back and forth. You know, it feels like either they just kind of start with Ragavan and have like their early draw of creature in the discard, spell plus creature, or you have like a Saga draw that's really hard for them to overcome and all that kind of stuff. Does not feel like there's any middle ground. I'm not going to block the Channeler. I'm going to take that. Although they probably just have a removal spell anyways, yeah. But that's fine. Make them cast it. Ooh, that's pretty good. Alright, mana. Let's get another cookbook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I'm going to get a cookbook. Because that allows me to cast Thought Monitor as well. So let's go Island. Urza. Make a food. Tap food for mana, play cookbook. Make a food. Tap food for mana, play monitor. Draw 2. And I guess I'll attack for 7. Now, even if they play Shadow, I think that's fine, because we have Prismatic Ending and a whole bunch of other stuff, so. And that's kind of what this deck does, we had basically nothing in play, and then turn sequence of just put my entire hand into play. That's kind of just what happened. Alright, they do have some shadows, but I don't think we particularly care about that. Maybe we do. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I can make 6 food. Oh, they're just dead. Okay, yeah, I'm pretty sure they're just dead, right? We should have enough mana. Because we can go make 2 more food here. That's 4 food. Play the cookbook. That's the 5th food. Ranger Captain for Asmo and cookbook. That's 6th food. And we can go shoot 2 things. I guess I don't even need the 6th food, right? I just need 4 to shoot these 2 and then attack with 2 constructs. So yeah, that should be good. Alright, Ranger Captain. Alright, they are off of it. Alright, Yeah, I mean that's kind of what happened. Like imagine, and that's why Urza is so ridiculous in this deck. That board state was they said go and I only had 3 lands in play. Right? Imagine this. They said go, I had 3 lands in play. At the end of my next turn, I had 2/7/7s, a 2/2 flyer, and 5 other permanents. After having just 3 lands in play, and that's why Urza is just kind of chef's kiss sometimes. All right, Path to Exile is good against Shadow. Flusterstorm is reasonable, I think. It's good. I mean, they have a lot of discard, right? They have a lot of discard. They have Drown in the Lock, most likely. I don't hate Flusterstorm, but it doesn't line up well against some of their like Ragavan, early Ragavan draws, which is kind of why I'm concerned about bringing it in. Hmm. You could make an argument for Soul Guide or Spellbomb. I actually, you know what I haven't been doing that I'm going to start doing is I'm going to bring a Needle because they almost always have engineered explosives. So I'm going to start bringing a Needle. That's kind of something that it's not intuitive. Like you wouldn't normally want to bring a Needle against a Shadow deck, but they almost always have explosives. I'm going to do some trimming on the numbers here. I'm going to cut a Talisman and a Street Wraith. I think I like everything else. I don't think I want to bring in Flusterstorm on the draw. Maybe on the play it's better, but on the draw, I think like imagine a hand that you have Flusterstorm, and they just lead on turn 1 Ragavan, and you're looking at your Flusterstorm like, what are we doing here? Well, this hand could be anything. Jokes aside, I think this hand is a keep. This hand does deal itself a lot of damage, so that is something to consider. Always have the Ragavan. In my experience, they almost always do. Ooh. I mean, are we just gonna go to town? You know what? For science. I don't know if this is right, but for science. For science. I'm doing this now so they can't bolt it. I gotta send a screenshot of this to Spider Space. He'd be proud. He'd be proud that I cast the Fox. Alright. I don't know if that was correct. It probably wasn't, but, you know. Here we are. Feed the Swarm. Tilt. Tilt, tilt, tilt. Yeah. I would have liked to drawn that too. I'm already at 10. It's not very good. And they have the Thoughtseize. Alright, well, I made probably not the correct play, but I wanted to try it out. I mean, to be fair, their deck has a lot of bolts in it, right? You know, they had exactly Feed the Swarm, but I don't know how many copies of that type of card they have. Alright, classic Thoughtseize bug. Classic Thoughtseize bug. Alright, go to 8. Was it the right play? No. Was it the correct play for content? Obviously, yeah. Oh, they have a blue source now. It's a yikes. I mean, they just play the Urza, right? Why wouldn't they play the Urza? Getting hoisted by my own baton. Yeah. Yep. Slam the Urza. Can't beat it. Can't beat it. Wow, they didn't play Urza? That's crazy. That seems so wild to me. Why wouldn't they play the Urza? I don't know. Interesting. Asmo? No, Springleaf Drum. That does allow me to play the monitor, though, right? So 1, 2, 3. We can make a. I can go Cavern. 4, 5. Yeah, I can play the Thought Monitor. So let's go Cavern on Human. Then we go tap this, make a 4/4. Oh no, I'm short, right? Did I miscount? I think I miscounted. Yeah, I'm short. Okay, because then I go tap this, play drum, 5 artifacts. Tap the drum in the construct, 1 mana with 5 artifacts, and this is the last card in my hand. Okay, I messed up. Shoot. Alright, go. Awkward. I should not have made that main phase. I thought I had enough to play the monitor, but I was 1 mana short. Expressive Iteration. I mean, the good news is, even if they find a fetch land, their Death Shadow is only a 4/4, and I can discard a card to make mine a 5/5. So, unless they have Fatal Push or Feed the Swarm, they don't really have a good attack. Do they have 4 types for heat? Sorcery? No, just sorcery and land. So they can't heat it. That's the 3rd type. Alright. They're bobbling themselves. Ooh, no attacks? I like that. I like no attacks, which means they probably don't have Drown. Which means we should be good to go on the Shadow Spear, right? Yeah, I'm just gonna get the Shadow Spear. Let's just go to town. Actually, maybe this is bad, because I don't really want to attack, right? Because if I attack, it grows their shadow. Maybe this is bad. I probably should have just played Thought Monitor. I got excited about attacking, but then realized that attacking is not very good against Death Shadow, because it just grows their shadow. So I'll just pass. I mean, I guess holding it back with as a lifelink attacker is not bad either, but I'm just going to pass. But it was probably better to play Thought Monitor that turn. And by probably, I mean 100% better to play Thought Monitor. Because, yeah, attacking a Death Shadow player, not the best. Especially in this spot where they just take the hit, and then they can attack back through the other construct. So we'll just play setup a little bit. Pretty bad if they have Spree, which maybe they do. Although, I'm probably not beating Spree anyways, so... Alright, I'm going to lead on Thought Monitor to try and bait a Drown in the lock, and then if they counter this, then I can just slam the Prismatic Ending. Alright, they don't counter the Monitor. But I really wanted to bait Drown. Funnily enough, we had 7 cards in our graveyard, so they could have drowned this, but... Seems like they do not have the Drown. Or maybe they're electing to not cast it. But let's play Saga. Let's Ending Shadow. See if that resolves. If that resolves, that's the green light to attack. But I imagine if they had Drown, they probably would have countered the Monitor. At least I think. So I think this might be good to go. Okay. Touche. They chose not to counter the other thing. So I can play drum and make a food and have a 10-point attack, which puts them to 1. This is tough. I think I'm going to wait a turn until it's lethal. This is really tough. It's one of those spots where, like, I kind of want to put them to 1, but then they have 24 on the backswing if they have TBR, and I would gain 10 and go to 18. I mean, I guess that could just chump block with the other construct, right? So they would need removal spell plus TBR. Because I gained 10 off the construct, putting me to 18. And I could even sack a food to go to 21, and they would have 24. No, still dead to removal, right? I sack food, go to 21, they kill the construct, I block with monitor, and I take 22. Yeah, I'm not a coward. I don't know if this is right. It's like, I think if this was an 11-point attack, it's very, very clearly correct to attack, but because it's only a 9, it is close. And remember, if they block with Death Shadow, I can choose to assign all the damage to the Shadow, so... The other reason I want to attack is because I am still a little bit worried that they might have Shattering Spree, so... And I think it's better to not re-equip and leave up the food, because if they have a removal spell, I'm in a bad spot either way. So, I think this makes sense to me. Alpine Moon for Urza Saga, okay. Accept. And they're on 3 cards? Yeah. See if they have the other removal spell. Like, now if they have 2 removal spells, this is pretty bad for me. We know they... Oh, no, we know one of their cards is Lurrus, okay. And I don't really care about Lurrus. Lurrus is acceptable. No attacks. Alright, I'm not going to sack a food here. That's a really good draw. That is a really good draw. They have another drown? Okay, I was going to say, there's no way they have another drown. Okay, so that should be game? Unless, again, they have drown, but... Cast Ranger Captain, get Asmor. Then we could play the Asmor off the Springleaf Drum. I think that's better than jamming Urza. Maybe it's not. Maybe Urza's better there. But this lets me double spell, and I can just kill the Ragavan and go for lethal. Even if they have a removal spell as their last card, then Lurrus is their actual last card, and I think we can still beat a Lurrus. Kolaghan's Command, those 2. Okay, so they're just dead. Because we know their last card. Right? Their last card's Lurrus, right? Am I missing something? I don't think so. No, I think I'm missing something. Black. Alright, kill your Ragavan. Attack you. Kill Monkey, attack you. Alright, 3 and 2. We lost to... What did we lose to? We lost to... I know we lost to Black-Red, or Grixis, and what was the other? Oh, we lost to the Blue-Black Mirror. Well, not Mirror, but Blue-Black Kitchen. Let's just go over the deck real quick before we sign off here. Felt pretty good. The 2 matches that we lost, I did notice it seemed like we were getting mana screwed, and I don't know if that's just like a product of the mana base is a little bit worse with Cavern of Souls, and it's like, you know, sometimes you can't cast a fairy and that kind of stuff in the post-board games. But, I mean, everything felt pretty good. I mean, Ranger Captain was amazing, putting in a lot of work against the Grixis decks that try to 1-for-1 you. It's just a straight-up 2-for-1, which is awesome. The Flourishing Fox even came up multiple times. That last match we played it on turn 1 wasn't the best, but... even the games where you just like had a Stranded Asmo, that was pretty cool that it came up. I'm not like 100% sold on Talisman because I did feel like I was getting maybe a little bit flooded, but Talismans, even when you don't have Urza, it's really nice to be able to like make a Saga token and do something else. It just allows you to double spell more frequently, and that's kind of what Modern is really about right now. It's about a lot of efficiency, and Talisman really allows you to be more mana efficient. So, I do like this deck. Is this what I would recommend? Maybe. I do think something in the space of Esper colors is where I want to be. I just don't know if it's this exact configuration, but we're getting close. But anyways, if you made it all the way to the end of the video, thank you again. I appreciate it. Please be sure to like and subscribe. And with that, I will see you in the next one.